I walk through space and run through time. I visit corners of my mind. Then come down and talk to you. And I appreciate y'all for showing up. You hear me? I want to take a moment. It's just as much as y'all appreciate me, I want to take a moment to appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all for showing up. Those of you who showing up, I appreciate you for showing up. I appreciate your showmanship. I appreciate your participation. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your energy. I appreciate your effort. Because you're not doing it for me. You're doing it for yourself. So I appreciate you. Regardless if you're here or not, you're here for yourself. And I appreciate you for that. You hear me? Because it takes a lot to stand up in the highest place of yourself when things crumbling around us. You hear me? So salute to all of us who feel good, not only about ourselves, but inside ourselves. You hear me? See, we got a choice. We can laugh now and cry later, or we can get this work done right now and be able to laugh and smile as much as we want to. You hear me? But if you ain't listening, you're gonna miss it. You know, man, I want to salute us, man, one more time. The world got caught up watching events, occurrences, experiences externally. And a lot of them missed what was happening inside. You hear me? I say that to say, just like me, you either everything they not, everything they said you would never be, or everything you said you would be. You're gonna have to figure that out. I say that because it be so close to us sometimes, man. You know, if we really, unless you shooting projectiles at an opposed enemy, the enemy never fought. It's always close. And I ain't talking about those of us who participate in certain activities the way we only got ops by association. I'm talking about the enemies that be right around us. Was right around us every day. Raised up with them, friends with them, so forth and so on. It be so close sometimes. We don't see it. And a lot of times we don't see it for the love that we have for who all we have participated with. And sometimes that could be to a default, to the extent that unless something happened for us to see it, we won't never see it, but we need to see it. Unless you're somebody I'm talking about, and somebody may need to see it about you. Whatever the case may be, we're gonna learn what we need to learn by experiencing what we need to be able to experience in order to establish boundaries and have balance. So if you're not a pretender, you know, if you're not a catfish or a copycat, pay attention. Pay attention. Because the same gossipers probably copying you too. You hear me? And they call them catfish these days. I don't ever know what I'm gonna say. You know, I fluctuate, but sometimes everything got to go wrong for everything to be right, or for everything to be all right. Many of us understanding that currently, or at least beginning to. So I want to give us a congratulations. You know, it's amazing the way we be in the positions that we take in ourselves, and the authority that we exercise over ourselves. It has a habit of issuing out lessons as you learn the lessons. So a lot of us issuing out lessons by the lessons that we are learning. In the same way that life has its way of seeming out of control and out of our hands, we all get to see, or we all are beginning or having a chance to see, how life also has a way of bringing things together. Not just for me, for you too. And if you haven't started to see that, just hold on, cause your breakthrough coming too. You hear me? And a lot of times that's the hardest part of the test, is to hold on and stay strong, to keep the faith, you know. But you got to move through them. You hear me? Everything happens for a reason, and everything is happening for a reason. Not only in my life, but yours too. We might not always like the events and the occurrences that is happening, you know, for everything to be all right. But don't be so resistant. Don't be so rigid. And regardless of what's going on, be a little kinder to yourself. Continue to move forward in faith with an open mind. Because in doing so, the right opportunities will appear at the right time. And depending on what you're trying to do, you know, and how you're trying to do it, the wait period, you know, the window period, it could get frustrating. It could be aggravating, you know. It could be irritating when it seems like nothing moving for you, you know, and all the movement you're doing. But that has its purpose. That has its purpose. You know, a lot of us starting to realize that too, and learning how to sit still, you know, and let God be God as we learn how to be God, you know. We learn how to see through God as we allow God to see through us. A lot of these things are important because I didn't notice how hard it was for people to really be themselves. I was pushed in so early by the things that I saw, by the things that I experienced, through what I witnessed, and its impact and impressions upon me emotionally. I didn't realize how hard it was for people to be themselves. And I would, it's wild because I was having an experience, a conversation with someone earlier in the reference of many things that was instilled in me by way of my mother, who was a single parent for me in the household that I was raised up in. And I found myself being thankful for the type of mom that I had, based on my peers, because my mom wasn't a toxic mom. Salute salute to the non-toxic mothers. You know, my mom didn't instill, regardless of whatever she may have felt concerning, you know, my father. I never heard her say anything bad. And what I mean by that is, in doing so, she never passed on no toxic traits that I would carry in my emotional body. Now, I may have repeated a lot of fucked up shit that I seen in the external, but emotionally, mentally, intellectually, she made sure I was intact through the relationship that we grew to have. And I'm appreciative of that, you know. And that's why I say, because we depending on what we have experienced, it has either gave us the type of mental aptitude that we need or the type of mental aptitude that we lacking. So just by way of that, it's easier for people to take on the character, to take on the personality, and try to take on the attributes and qualities of the characters and personalities of the people that they admire, the people that they look up to. And that's not a bad thing, unless it's malicious, unless it's associated with envy, unless it's associated with jealousy, unless it's associated with displacement. It's a beauty it's a beauty to find comfortability in being in your own skin. I've always been comfortable by being myself, despite my critics. And we gonna have them. You hear me? We gonna have them. But that's a plus. I guess that's a plus to the type of introvert that I am, you know. The things that I witnessed early in life turned me inward, as I mentioned earlier, you know, with many questions. With many questions. And it's through our experiences that we're going to get the answer. It's through our experiences that we're going to find the answers. And it's not going to be outside yourself. I say that because it's important to be able to be your best self, even in the worst situations. Even in the situations that's not the most suitable. Everything that we have gone through has led us to this point, has led us to this place, has led us to this space, to the person that you have become today. It wasn't in vain. And I know it wasn't easy. But we made it. We still here, family. And it's sad to say, but that's what's gonna hurt some people the most. See, I'm talking to somebody who passed everybody who looked down on them to be a lesson to everybody who looked down on them. If you don't listen, you're gonna miss it. See, I'm talking to somebody who changed their whole family dynamics just by changing the toxic and karmic dynamics within themselves. See, I'm talking to somebody who has the potential of them to be the map of the city, while everybody around them trying to put their city on the map. Now, who am I talking to today? See, I'm talking to somebody who ain't got time to be fighting and competing, you know, and comparing with nobody because they're too busy trying to get in touch with themselves. We cause the ego death, in other words. By the work that we're doing in ourselves, we cause the ego deaths in others. We ain't here to compete with no one. And if you anything like me, you don't even see competition, you hear me? Because what God put in you to come here and do prior to coming here and to start figuring it out, it was in you before you came. And if you ain't covered it up with what you have went through, then it's trying to find its way to express itself about you. You hear me? In other words, what I'm saying, family, is it's not about nobody else. It's not about nobody else. Regardless of who we participate in life with, regardless of who we share aspects and portions of our life with, it's not about them. It's about you. It's about you. So whatever you're trying to do, whatever you intend to do, whatever you're here to do, stick to it. It may take longer than you expect. And appear when you don't expect it to. But if you putting in the work and you don't see the signs, trust me, what you're working towards will appear. Your change has come. Your change has come. My change here, because my change has come. But I'm saying your change has come because we still got to keep walking into it. Every day, every day, every day. Repetition is learning, you know. And the more we repetitious, the more we perfecting it. You hear me? I ain't always been perfect, but I always move from a higher vibrational place than most. And I don't say that in cockiness, and I don't say that in arrogance, because I'm quick to let it be known I am not a saint. Trust me, I have not been the same. But my point is, family, on the proof that change is good. You hear me? Change can be made. And the hourglass always turn the other way. As I said before, not everybody wants to stay the same. You hear me? So I hope, and I know I'm talking to somebody, and I'm talking to those who chose the same thing. You hear me? The hourglass always turn the other way. And it's time for the last to be first. You hear me? So you can laugh now and cry later, or we can get this work done and be able to laugh as much as we want to. I appreciate y'all. I've been taking notes. We're gonna do the drawing tomorrow. Well, I'm gonna do the drawing tomorrow, but we is what we gonna do today? We're gonna do a star for the day. We're gonna do the star for the day. We're gonna do the drawing tomorrow, and the winner will be able to pick whether they want the Dragon Blood kit or the regular California Sage kit. And in inclusion of that, tomorrow starts December. So next month, I'm gonna be doing a shirt, you know. I'm gonna be doing a shirt. And we're gonna do it one step at a time, family. You know, one step at a time. Thanks for the likes. Thanks for the unlikes. I'm trying to make sure I don't forget nothing. Thanks for the new subscribers. I appreciate y'all. Keep coming back. It's gonna be beneficial to you. The donations, the purchases, the salutations, the love. I love y'all too, family. My name is Sawu. Peace.